What's going on, everybody? I'm back with the first video of 2023, and this one is going to be a massive collection update, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Captain Horror Collection channel. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Hangman, aka Captain Horror, and in this video, I'm finally getting to do my collection update. This is long overdue. I got a ton of stuff to show in this video. Happy New Year to everyone out there. I hope you all had a great, happy, and safe New Year surrounded by loved ones. I really don't want to make this one too long of a video, but I think no matter what, it's gonna be a long one. So, you know, sit back, relax, get a little snack, something to drink. I got my tea here with me in my beautiful Friday the 13th cup that I got from Spirit Halloween. Oh, that's good tea, man. Before we get into this video, I just want to remind everyone, if you like what you see here, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and if you do hit subscribe, make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that I post. So without further delay, let's get into this update, man. First and foremost, I guess I'll show the DVDs that I've picked up. This is like over the past, I would say about 2 to 3 months of stuff that I've added to the collections. Had to get some of these DVDs because I don't know of any of these movies having Blu-ray transfers, and if you do know out there, please drop it in the comments. I would love to get these movies on Blu-ray. So these movies are either bagged up already, or you know, they're in like protective sleeves as far as like hard shell cases from Malco. First movie I have here is one of my absolute favorites from when I was a kid, man. This is My Best Friend is a Vampire. This is a great movie. I love it very much. I always thought this would make a great double bill, or like a double feature with Once Bitten with Jim Carrey. Yeah, this one's really good. This has Robert Sean Leonard, and it's a very similar plot to Once Bitten, but different enough. But they're very similar in tone, and like I said, would make a great double feature. I don't know of this having a Blu-ray transfer, so I had to get the DVD. And this is a Lionsgate film, so I'm really hoping that they end up releasing this under the Vestron series line. That would be amazing. I would be so happy if I saw that get released. The next one is a DVD I picked up. A classic comedy from when I was a kid, Encino Man with Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser. Shout out to the Rad Pack, Garrett, Justin, Mel. They did an episode a while back, a few months back, about Encino Man, highlighting this movie, and they got me hyped up for it. I was like, fuck, man, I love that movie. I never owned it. So I looked on Amazon and they had the DVD available. Boom, had to get it, man. So shout out to the Rad Pack for bringing back a lot of great memories on this film and making me buy it for really, really cheap, like $7.99 I think it was on Amazon. Probably still too expensive for a DVD, but this movie is very much worth it, and I think it has, I guess it doesn't have a Blu-ray transfer. I don't know, couldn't find one. The last DVD that I picked up in the last few months, this was the most recent one, and I haven't even opened it yet. I did bag it up though still. That is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Definitely supposed to watch this for the Christmas season, but I guess I missed it. I'm still in the Christmas mode though, man. I got the tree is still up. I got my fireplace in the back. Next, we're gonna get into some Scorpion releasing titles, just 2 of them. Shout out again to Garrett from Born to Be Rad. He suggested this in one of his Instagram reels, I believe it was, Night Visitor. He said it was a pretty good movie. I did not open it yet, still sealed, but I will be watching it soon. This one has Derek Rydell, or Rydell. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his last name, but we'll say Derek Rydell.
Derek Rydell.
He was in Phantom of the Mall, so, and I did get that earlier this year. That one's all right. I don't really love that movie, but it's okay for what it is. The last title that I have here from Scorpion releasing is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, man. I used to watch this a lot when I was growing up, and that is Death Wish 3.
What's the problem? Now you're gonna die.
This is definitely by far my favorite Death Wish. When I was growing up, I used to get confused on which one that I saw the most. I wasn't sure if it was the first, second, or third one, and it was definitely between those 3, because 4 I don't remember at all. I don't think I've ever seen Death Wish 4 or 5. Death Wish 3 is definitely my favorite of the Death Wish films. It's the most fun for sure, whereas 1 and 2 are pretty bleak and very, very very dark, but I love those films as well. I have part 2 from Vinegar Syndrome, and part 1 is going to get a Kino Lorber release, I believe, this year coming up. And speaking of Kino Lorber, that is the next 2 films that I'm going to show. Happy Birthday to Me. This is a really cool addition. I've seen this movie before. I do enjoy it. I'd say it's middle of the road as far as slashers go, but it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I saw it on Shudder when it was on Shudder a few years ago. Did not know Kino put this out until like I was, just browsing through Amazon, and it came up as a suggestion. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy that shit. Slipcover and everything, so really cool. Love that original poster art. Very, very nice. Happy Birthday to Me from, I believe that's 1981. And I also have, fitting for today, I'm actually filming this video on New Year's Eve, but this won't go up till after the new year. So yeah, I have New Year's Evil, and that is very fitting for today. Definitely gonna put this on and check it out. This is still sealed, but I will be cracking it open today. Another middle of the road, maybe less than enjoyable slasher. I don't know. I saw this once, and I think it was 2 years ago. Saw it on Shudder. It was okay. It was okay. Of course, why did I buy it if I don't like it that much? It's a slasher. I would love to own all slashers if I can, or many of the slashers, whatever I can get my hands on, because I am a big slasher fan. And it's a movie from the 80s, so I have a lot of, love for it just in that aspect. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay at best. You know what? Now I'm going to show you the studio releases that I picked up over the past few months. Most of these, I think all of these are steelbooks. Okay, first up, we got Fright Night. Man, I am so happy this came out. I've had this on DVD for so many years, and I constantly play that DVD. This movie's in heavy rotation for me. This is one of the best films of the 80s, no question. Yeah, man, directed by Tom Holland, also written by Tom Holland, and starring Roddy McDowall, Chris Sarandon, William Ragsdale, and Amanda Bierce. Very, very good film. If you've never seen Fright Night, highly recommend this one. Now all we need is Fright Night 2 to come to the States on an official Blu-ray or 4K or whatever. Not sure what the deal is with that movie. I've only seen it once in my life. I do enjoy it, but I can't remember much of it. But I would love to have it to add it in the collection, All right, next one I got here is Bram Stoker's Dracula. So happy to have this one. I've never owned this on physical media in any form. I've only watched this like on HBO or rented it when I was younger. To me, this is the best Dracula film out there. I know many people don't share that same opinion, but that's my opinion. Really, really love this one a lot. I think this one is extremely well done. With the exception of Keanu Reeves' acting in this film, I'm not saying it's really bad. I just feel like he was kind of miscast in the role, but it doesn't take away too much from the film because you have Anthony Hopkins giving an incredible performance. Winona Ryder, I feel, gives an incredible performance. And of course, Gary Oldman's performance as Dracula is one for the ages. Jesus, I'm telling you, man, he's my Dracula for sure. I know there's a lot of Bela Lugosi fans out there and Christopher Lee fans as far as Dracula goes, but this one right here, man, it doesn't get any better than this for me. Next one we have here is not a horror, but is one of my absolute favorite action films of the 90s, and that is Last Action Hero. I missed out on the first printing of this steelbook when it was released. I don't know, sometime in the summer. I'm not really sure when it first came out, but they did like a special limited reprint of these steelbooks, which is really weird. I find that kind of odd that they're doing this sort of reprint thing, but for people like me that missed out on the first run, it's awesome. I'm very happy that I got this beautiful steelbook. The way it looks is amazing. I got a cool image of Arnold Schwarzenegger on the back there. That artwork is just killer, man. When this came out, people hated this movie. Critics tore this movie the fuck up. Ever since I saw it as a kid, I was in love with this movie. I'm really, really happy to own this edition. Beautiful, beautiful steelbook. Next is another comedy, and this is one of my favorite comedies of the 2000s, I guess. I forgot when this came out. When did this come out? 2004. Wow. Mean Girls. Could not resist this steelbook that resembles the burn book in the film. If you've seen the film, then you know exactly what the burn book is. This is a very good one. I have not cracked the seal on this one yet, but I'm very happy to put this in the collection. Loved Lindsay Lohan in this movie. Thought she did really well. Probably the only movie that I like her in. I don't really watch many movies with her in it, but she did very well in this one. It's a very entertaining one, and it brings back a lot of good memories of when I first used to, watch it back then when it first came out. Okay, the next one is a horror, and that is The Ring, the 20th anniversary edition. Very, very cool edition here. You got a slip cover that resembles the VHS tape, and when you pull out the steelbook, you'll see a image of the well, and it says 7 days on it. Yeah, this is a great steelbook. This is just a Blu-ray, it's not a 4K, and I'm pretty sure, like Paramount has been doing, they will release this in the same exact steelbook edition on 4K. I have no idea why I didn't just wait for that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be coming out, but yeah, whatever, man. I just couldn't resist getting this one. And honestly, I don't know if I need this in 4K. I think Blu-ray is just fine. I haven't even upgraded to 4K yet. So the two last ones that I'm going to show for the studio release steelbooks are two amazing ones. Poltergeist Zavvi exclusive steelbook set. Really cool. Comes with this steelbook that basically was a wide release, or at least here in North America, you could get this steelbook alone. But I went to Zavvi.com and got this nice little box edition. Comes with a poster, a very small poster, a booklet, some art cards in there, lobby cards, and a nice hard rigid box. Really cool. So that's one Zavvi edition that I got, and the second steelbook Zavvi exclusive edition I got was Lost Boys, man. The Lost Boys. Very, very beautiful edition. I love this steelbook. You got the Chinese food in the back there. Very nice. The only thing I don't like about these editions, it's just a personal preference. Since these are Zavvi exclusives, these are from the UK. They're region free, but they have the branding on it from the UK, which I hate these things. I cannot stand the fact that they put the branding on everything. I'm so happy it's not on the outer boxes. They were, but they were stickers that I removed, thank God. But yeah, if I had my way, I was actually thinking of buying the American versions just to put those discs into this set. Now we're gonna move on to, what do we got here? Cinedime? I think that's the name of this company. Cinedime, yeah, Cinedime. So yeah, from Cinedime, I got the It documentary, Pennywise, the story of It. I have not even watched this thing yet. This thing has been, in production for quite some time. I've heard about it for, I don't know, at least 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I've been hearing about this damn thing forever. I didn't think it was ever going to come out, and then finally it was released, so got my hands on it. Really cool. Got the slipcover as well, and this is actually a numbered spine from Screambox. This is number 1 on the spine. Number 2 is actually the Terrifier 2 Blu-ray, which I don't have, at least not the slipcover edition. But what I do have is the steelbook edition of Terrifier 2, also from Cinedime. I believe this, yeah, from Cinedime as well, yeah. This is not numbered though. They're only numbering, I guess, their slipcover editions. So yeah, I'm gonna eventually pick that up, the slipcover edition of Terrifier 2, because I fucking love this movie, man. I already expressed how I feel about this movie in another video that I posted a few months ago, my Terrifier 2 review. I think it's great, other than the fact that it's too long and the plot is a little weird, but like the gore sequences and the acting from certain actors was good. I enjoyed it, and it had a nice, cool, old school throwback feel to old school 80s slashers, and that was a great thing to see. So moving on to my Vestron collection. I've been trying my best to bulk up my Vestron collector series Blu-rays. I had only The Gate, and I think it was The Gate and Shivers, possibly something. Oh, Little Monsters, that was another one that I had. But for a long time it was just those 3, and recently I ended up trying to play catch up and get a lot of the old releases, at least the ones that I'm interested in. I did pick up a lot of the ones that I do want in my collection, and surprisingly enough, most of them came with slips. Only one didn't come with a slip, and I'll show that one right now. Jesus Christ. Slaughter High without the slip cover. I already found the slip cover on eBay. Most likely I will be getting it. I have not pulled the trigger on it yet. Yeah, a little confused on why I didn't get the slip with this one, but it is what it is. It's still sealed, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it, try to find it with the slip. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out, because it's kind of weird buying the slip by itself. I hate buying just a piece of cardboard, but I can't just have one without the slip cover. It's just gonna fuck everything up for me in my collection. So gotta find this slip, or I gotta just pull the trigger on this slip, because I did find it. The next one I got recently was Waxwork and Waxwork 2, man, with the slip cover, of course. One of my favorite horror movies from the 80s. I've never seen Waxwork 2 Lost in Time, but I will eventually when I, pop this one in again. But I already opened this and watched Waxwork. I love Waxwork, man. Such a great movie. Such a great underrated 80s horror. So yeah, I found this with the slip, and it came with a clear case, which was really awesome. I think that's the only one. Maybe the Wishmaster collection comes with a clear case. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection. Okay, the next Vestron that I picked up recently was The Wraith. Man, this movie is fantastic. Oh man, if you've never seen The Wraith, I highly recommend this one. This has Charlie Sheen in it. It's a very awesome 80s sci-fi sort of drama. Really, really well done, man. And just like a hidden gem. I remember watching this as a kid a lot. And I remember bringing it up to a lot of people, and they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. They never heard of this film, but everybody knows who Charlie Sheen is, you know what I mean, especially at the time, but nobody knew about this film. And I was like, wow, man, The Wraith is really good, you got to check it out. So really happy to finally own this on a very, very nice Blu-ray edition with the slip, baby. Hell yeah. This one I actually had to get on eBay because I couldn't find this on Amazon, at least not for a decent price. Really, really fucking happy to have The Wraith. I had this on DVD for many, many years, and I would watch it all the time in heavy rotation. My DVD player for sure, or I should say Blu-ray player. Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Another one I'm shocked that I found a slipcover with. All of these, with the exception of The Wraith that I just showed, I ordered from Amazon, and they came in really good condition, and the slips were on them, dude. Like, I couldn't believe it, especially this one. I've never seen this movie. I still didn't crack this one open yet too. I will be seeing this very soon, but everybody tells me how this is a great movie, and it's really, really long overdue that I finally checked this one out, because I love the first one, love the second one, even though I do recognize it's not as good as the first. Yeah, man, I've always been curious to see this movie, and I could never find it. I had never seen it play on HBO. When I used to go rent movies, I just didn't come across it, and when I did find out that it existed, it just wasn't readily available for me to watch or pick up. Really happy that I finally got this in the collection, and again, very happy I got the slip with it. I mean, if you're looking to collect Vestron now, this late in the game, I say your chances of finding all these with slips are very good, because look at what I got here. I couldn't believe I found most of these with slips. The next one here is a newer release, so I was definitely getting a slip with that, and that is Earth Girls Are Easy. Very, very funny film. Not the best. I'd say kind of an acquired taste. I enjoy it because I watched it as a kid, and I love Jim Carrey, I love Jeff Goldblum, and definitely love Damon Wayans, of course. So yeah, this is a really cool one. I think this is a really cool one, and it's weird because there's a number of films that star Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, this being one of them. The Fly obviously is another, and Transylvania 65000, which is another movie I hope gets a nice release from like Vinegar Syndrome or someone, or even Vestron would be nice. But yeah, they were in those three movies together within a few years of each other in the 80s. So yeah, really cool and interesting to see them paired up in a number of movies that I actually really, really enjoy. Parents. Now, I've never seen this movie. I have no idea how this movie is. Many people say that it's okay. I used to be under the impression that this was a horror film, but I don't think it's a horror film. I guess it is a horror film, but I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it without knowing what the fuck it is, but I'm just trying to go off of what I heard from other people. It has Randy Quaid in it. It can't be that bad. I mean, I guess, time will tell when I finally do crack this open and watch it. But regardless, I'm happy to own it. It's definitely a title that I felt would go good in my collection. Something that I think I'd enjoy more than, let's say, Lair of the White Worm or Extreme Prejudice. Blood Diner. I haven't even got like a shell around this yet. I have to put something on it because I have to protect this. Jesus Christ.
First they greet you, then they eat you. No one under 17 admitted.
I've never seen Blood Diner. I've seen a couple of scenes, just various, random scenes online. Seems like a movie I'd be interested in. Directed by Jackie Kong, if I'm not mistaken, and I've never seen any of her films. I've never even heard of her before I watched the In Search of Darkness documentaries. That's when I first found out about her as a director. And I always heard of this movie Blood Diner, but I had no idea it was directed by a woman. Not that it really matters whether it's a woman or a man, but in a genre dominated by men, it's kind of refreshing to see a movie like this directed by a woman and get so much praise and have such a cult following. So really, really interested in seeing how this movie is, and I'm very happy to have it in the collection with the slip. Chopping Mall, and this is number 1 in the Vestron Collector Series, spine number 1. Could not believe I got this with the slip. When this came in with the slip, I was like, oh, forget it. All Vestrons must have the slips. I guess they never go out of print, which is not the case. But I guess I've just been getting lucky. So Chopping Mall is a movie that I know and love. I've watched this many times, never owned it, but I've always watched it like on Shudder. I think the first time I watched it was just, 4 years ago. And I fell in love with it. I thought it was a great movie. It's a quick, easy watch too. It's like maybe 78 minutes, 76 minutes. Really short, man. Very easy watch. Very entertaining in my opinion. I love Barbara Crampton in this movie. There's a couple of scenes with her. Her lines are just so...
Look, Allison, in about an hour and a half we bail this barbecue and it's good times to the max. So what do you say?
You said go out and have a good time.
Oh, all right. That is bitchin'.
It's like the heat's been turned on. In the middle of summer. They know we're in here. They're trying to French fry us.
Man, they're so great. But yeah, I really loved her in this movie, and Kelly Maroney does a great job in here as well. Yeah, very enjoyable film. And you also get a nice appearance from Dick Miller, and it's always good to see him in anything. I love Dick Miller and I miss him. Rest in peace, man. Last one I'm going to show for the Vestron Collector Series that I picked up recently, and that is the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection. This collects Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5. From what I understand, these are terrible, terrible movies. I've never seen any of these films. I've only known about the existence of part 3. Did not know they made a 4 or a 5. Did start to watch part 3, but I ended up falling asleep. It was pretty late. So I do want to dig into these. I want to check them out myself, see if they're really as bad as people say they are. And maybe, even if they are bad, maybe they can be fun. I'm hoping they are fun. So we'll see. And that is it for the Vestron Collector Series. Now we're going to get into the Arrow titles that I picked up over the last few months. So the first Arrow title that I'm going to show here is a classic from when I was a kid, Vamp. This is a movie that I remember seeing pretty young, and I gotta tell you, for many years I didn't know the name of this movie, and I spent so many years trying to find out what was that movie that had the vampires. And at some point in the movie, they're like running around in sewers or somewhere underground trying to get away from the vampires. Something like that. I can't remember. It's like a vague memory, but I know that I enjoyed the movie and I wanted to see it. But the only thing that could sort of come to me was Robert Russler's face. But for some reason, it didn't click in my mind to just look up his filmography and see what the hell he was in to try to narrow down what movie it might have been. But yeah, Vamp is the film, and I was really happy to see that Arrow released this at some point. This is an old release, so I got it without the booklet that it usually comes with during the first print run. I have not cracked it open yet. This is still sealed, but I will be watching it very soon. Hell High, another one I know nothing about. Just got this under recommendations from many YouTubers that collect Arrow video, and they give this movie very high praise. So yeah, really looking forward to finally checking this one out. The next Arrow title that I have is Girls Night Out. I know nothing of this one as well. Seemed interesting enough. Definitely wanted to get it before the slip and the booklet disappeared. I've heard mixed things about it, but I'm looking forward to it. Two Witches. Again, another one I know nothing about. The only thing I know is that this is a much newer film. I believe 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 2021. Maybe it is 2021. Yeah, okay, this is a very new movie. But it's done in, I guess, in the vein of like supernatural films from the 70s. has that sort of feel, that Italian horror feel from what I understand. So I'm looking forward to it. It's an anthology, 2 different stories. So yeah, always a good time with anthologies. I love anthology films. And I'm really looking forward to this. I saw the trailer, it looked really creepy. Definitely looked like something I would enjoy. So I can't wait to finally crack that one open. So 2 Witches from Arrow Video. The next one that I added to the collection is the Sergio Martino collection. Now, these films that are collected in this collection are The Suspicious Death of a Minor, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Man, I love that title. And The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. These are all movies that Arrow released as standalones, but I guess they decided to just put them in a collection because they're all from the same director, obviously. And they're in much thinner cases than usual. They're in actual, like, standard Blu-ray size cases, where usually Arrow Video obviously is a little thicker. I'm not the biggest fan of Giallo, but I've heard very good things about this director, and I've heard very good things about Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the last title that I'm going to show for the Arrow pickups that I have is True Romance. This is the limited edition box set from Arrow, the 4K. Very, very nice set. I love the fact that they made it look like a romance novel. Got the 10 cents there. Looks like the pages there. Looks all, you know, sort of weathered. Looks really nice. Really loved this edition, and I saw the steelbook box set that Arrow released as well, other than this one, and it looks so good. It was hard for me to choose, so I ended up getting both of them because I think that this artwork is fantastic. I think that this artwork is fantastic. These editions look great, and this one actually comes with the steelbook edition, so man, I couldn't resist. And it comes with also the Blu-ray copy, so whatever, man. I got 2 copies of this. I'm not opposed to owning different editions of the same film. Kind of weird that I've never seen this film and I bought both editions, but I couldn't resist, man. These things are gorgeous. And that is it for the Arrow titles. And now we're gonna get into the bulk of what I got, which is the Scream Factory titles that I bought after the Shocktober sale. This was like within a month or 2 months after the sale. So the first thing I want to show here is the t-shirt that Gutter Garbs did for Scream Factory for their 10th anniversary. Finally got it in. Looks really, really cool. I love that design. Very happy with it. This is a 1X. So yeah, might as well show it off now since I'm going to show you more Scream Factory stuff. So yeah, finally came in. Really happy to have this shirt. So I might as well go ahead and get into this unboxing too, man. I got a little unboxing here from Scream Factory and NECA. This video is going longer than I wanted it to, but I hope you're still here. And if you're still here, you are the shit. Thank you so much. I love watching long videos. I really don't mind it, especially when I'm seeing somebody showing what they added to their collection. I always love seeing what people add to their collections. We got the box open here, and what we have in here is, man, this is the first time opening it. I hope it's not damaged. Here it is. Oh my God, look at this. I got the charred Chucky, baby. Look at that. That is awesome. Very, very happy to finally get this box open, man. I've had this here for a couple months already. This box looks so cool. It's all burned up. I did not get the original Chucky that was released with the first Blu-ray that they did, Scream Factory. Unfortunately, I did not get it. It would be nice to have it to sort of, you know, as a companion to this one, because I believe they're the same exact size too. Still waiting on my Stevie Wayne figure though. Can't wait to get that one. All right, man, I'm gonna burn through these Scream Factories, man. Most of these are just regular standard editions. Some of them have slip covers, but let's just get right into it, man. The Omen collection, something that I've been putting off for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger on it. Love the first one, love the second one. I've never seen The Final Conflict. I've never seen The Awakening, although I've heard bad things. And the remake is a pile of shit. I'm sorry, but it's just, I really don't like it very much. But small price to pay for having this cool collection. Just figured, you know what, why not get it before it goes out of print? So yeah, the Omen collection. So I went ahead and bought The Car. Never seen it, glad to own it. Terror in the Aisles. Used to watch this a lot as a kid. A lot of people think that this was like sort of a waste to have this as a standalone. I'm very happy that Scream Factory put this out as a standalone because this brings back a lot of memories. Used to rent this a lot. I just enjoyed the way they put these movies together. Next up, I have Psycho 2. Never seen this one. I hear great things. Can't wait to check it out though. Of course, I had to get Psycho 3, of course. Missed out on the slips for this, but it is what it is, man. I figured let me stop trying to get slip covers and just get the movies while they're still in print. Enjoy them, because of course that's the most important thing here is the film itself. It's nice to have slip covers, but whatever, I'm just happy to own those. Next up, I got Love at First Bite and Once Bitten, double feature. Don't give a shit about Love at First Bite. I mean, I've never seen it. Maybe it's a good movie. I don't know. I'll find out one day. Once Bitten is my shit though. Watched that a lot growing up. Jim Carrey is excellent in that movie, and I already mentioned how that would be a great double feature with My Best Friend is a Vampire. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that one, in my opinion. Picked up The Hand with Michael Caine. Never seen it, but I heard really good things from one of my brothers about this film. He highly recommended this one, and I could not resist it. I saw Scream Factory put it out, so I was like, fuck yeah, man, I'm getting The Hand. Picked up Killer Party. Know nothing about this film, but I figured, you know what, it's one of the newer releases from Scream Factory, and it's a slasher. I believe it's a slasher. Here's kind of middle of the road, but enjoyable enough, so looking forward to checking that out. Picked up Serial Mom. I do own this on DVD. This is one of my favorite John Waters films. I think that this is a fucking great movie. One of the better ones from the 90s. Comedy, sort of dark black comedies. Very well done, and one of the more tame John Waters films. He's done some really crazy films in the past. Pink Flamingos, Multiple Maniacs, all kinds of crazy shit. But this is one of his more tame movies, and in my opinion, one of his better ones. Next up, we have In the Mouth of Madness. I've actually never seen this film, surprisingly, but I always have heard great things about it, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. I think Sam Neill's a great actor, and he does very well in horror movies. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. Picked up Saturday the 14th because why the fuck not? I love Transylvania 65000, and this seems to be in the vein of that. Next up, Land of the Dead. No fucking slip. Who gives a shit? I'm happy to own it. Definitely not one of Romero's best, but I think it's the better of the ones that he started coming out with in the later years, in the 2000s. Yeah, this is probably his last great Dead movie. You know, we can debate that in the comments if you want, but I enjoyed it enough. Didn't really love it, but I like it. Class of 1984. This movie is fucking fantastic. This has a very young Michael J. Fox, credited as Michael Fox, and yeah, very great 80s sort of, you know, I don't know, high school kids gone fucking wild kind of movie. One of those kind of movies. Really fucking good. Reminds me of The Principal in a way, you know, that movie with James Belushi. Just in the premise of it, where, like, you know, kids are really wild, and the teachers or the principal's gotta fight back. So really cool movie. Slumber Party Massacre. Came a little damaged too. Try to return it, and the next one came damaged in the same exact spot. So I just figured I'd just keep this one. And then they announced the double feature 4K. Wonderful. It is what it is, man. I do like this movie. I don't love it. It's pretty good, but I figured, why not? Let me add it to the collection. Next up is a fucking amazing film. One of the best remakes I've ever seen in my life, and that is The Blob. Missed out on the slip. Boo fucking who. I would really love the slip to this one, but it is what it is. Really great fucking remake, man. I mean, one of the best films from the 80s. Practical effects, acting, everything in this film is so fucking good, man. I really love it. Very good. Next up, we got 10 to Midnight. One of my favorite Bronson films. Very good. Oh man, the next one is something that I don't like, and I just wanted to add this to the collection because I don't fucking know, I was just wasting money. Teen Wolf 2. This is a piece of shit. If you've never seen this, I say don't bother. Just watch the first one. But if you're like me and you gotta have the second one because you got the first one, then go ahead. But guess what? I missed out on a fucking slip, so this thing is even more useless to me. Whatever. Deadly Friend. This is a very good movie. Loved it growing up. Was very happy to see that Scream Factory picked this one up. I really took my time to get this one. I didn't think I was gonna get it with the slip. I don't know why I took my time. It's like I do love this movie, but when I saw it announced, I meant to, you know, pre-order it to get the poster, but I missed out on that, and then time kept going by, and I was just buying other shit. You know, I just kind of forget about it. This is the movie that stars Christy Swanson and was directed by Wes Craven, and it's not one of his best. But I think it's very enjoyable. It has a pretty interesting plot. You know, again, not the best horror movie, but enjoyable nonetheless. But it's a recommend. I do recommend. It's not a high recommend, but if you can catch it on Tubi or something like that, check it out before you buy it. Graveyard Shift. This is a movie that I did not see for many years. I did not grow up watching this one. I believe this was released in 1990. Yeah, 1990. It's just one that I always passed over. I remember seeing this cover quite a bit in the rental store, in the video store, when I would go rent movies. But I don't know. I never bit the bullet on this one. And I gotta say, the cover is a little bit misleading. I don't know. You look at the cover, you think one thing, but when you watch the movie, it's something completely different. This is actually a creature feature, which I do not get from this cover, but very good in my opinion. Not great. Not one of the better Stephen King adaptations, I would say, but it's very enjoyable. There's something about this movie that, as I watched it, 1, 2, 3 times, I kept watching it. I don't know, for some reason I kept getting drawn to it. And within like maybe a 2-week span, I watched it like 4 times. And it just grew on me. I love Brad Dourif's performance in this. Brad Dourif is in this. And man, what is that guy's name? Stephen Mocht? He plays like sort of the villain in this movie. Very, very good job from him. I loved his performance. It's a really cool, 90s creature feature. Because in my opinion, there's not a lot of good 90s horror films, at least not ones that I enjoy. I enjoy more 80s than 90s for sure. But this is one that I feel is one of the better ones from the 90s that I like pretty much. So I was happy to see Scream Factory put this out. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. I love this movie so much. Another anthology film, very well done. This is actually the unofficial Creepshow 3. Many of the people who worked on Creepshow and Creepshow 2 worked on this film as well. I believe, let me see, who directed this? As a matter of fact, the composer of the music for the first Creepshow and the composer for the music for Day of the Dead, Mr. John Harrison, directed this film. It's fucking crazy. Also, Richard Rubenstein produced it, so he produced the first 2. So yeah, the same people who worked on the first Creepshow movies, the first 2 Creepshow movies, because the actual Creepshow 3 is a piece of shit, and I don't consider that part of those movies at all. This is the unofficial Creepshow 3. I love it. James Remar's in here, who I love from The Warriors and 48 Hours and countless other movies. He was also in the Dexter series. So yeah, man, very, very good movie. Love this one very much. Debbie Harry's in here too, Blondie herself. Love seeing her in anything. The next one I got here to show is The Dead Zone. I got this one with a slip, but the slip is kind of fucked up, man. It's kind of some scratches here. It's bent in on the edges there. Not the best slip. I tried to return this and I got an even worse one. So I guess I'm stuck with this one. If I could find another one, I will get another slip. But this is a very good movie. I watched this a couple times when I was a kid. Not many times in my life, but I do love Christopher Walken. And it's a very good, I believe this is a Stephen King adaptation as well. One of the better Stephen King adaptations, definitely. Directed by David Cronenberg, so it's going to be some really off-the-wall shit. So yeah, man, The Dead Zone. Very happy to have that in the collection. Not happy that the slip looks like shit, but it is what it is. And here's one that I decided to add to the collection because why the fuck not? I never picked it up. I only have a DVD copy of it, and that is Day of the Dead. This is my favorite of the original Dead trilogy from George Romero. Many people cite Dawn of the Dead as their favorite. To me, that's my second favorite. This one, it just got the gore right. They got the atmosphere right. I love the bleak, dark tone of it. I love that it's in this sort of underground lair, sort of, where they're like hiding out from the zombies up above, and they're trying to figure out what's going on or what they can do to change it, and things go wrong. And of course, as things would go wrong in a zombie apocalypse. Very well made, well acted, everything about this movie. Tom Savini is on top of his fucking game in this one. The gore in this is top notch. Beautiful, man, beautiful. And of course, the payoff in the end is amazing. This movie is fantastic. There's not much I need to say about this, but I never owned this Blu-ray. Slip is long gone. Next up, we're almost at the end here, guys. Drag Me to Hell. I love this movie. I thought it was really good. Sam Raimi did a very good job with this one. A lot of people complained about it, said that it was, meh. I loved what they did with this one, and I highly recommend this one. I think it's a great movie. People shit on this, and it should not be shit on. It's a good one. All right, next one we got here is The Gate 2, or as it says here, Gate 2. This was kind of just like, why not? I guess I'll add it to the collection. I've never seen this one. The next one I have here is a movie that people basically shit on like crazy, but I figured, you know what, I've never seen it, why not pick it up? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Yeah, I'm not expecting to love this movie, but you know what, I said fuck it, I might as well get it. And since I'm showing this now, this is not a Scream Factory title, but since I bought this, I figured why not get Leatherface: The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So yeah, I don't know, I heard these movies are very, very, very fucking terrible. I'm looking forward to them nonetheless. I also like to own horror movies that have big name stars in them before they were big. So like this one has Viggo Mortensen, and this one has Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. So really, really curious to see how their performances were in these movies. You know, again, I've heard bad things about them, but I'm happy to add these to the collection since I do love the Texas Chainsaw series. I don't think I'd buy anything past these, but yeah, got those. Next one I have here is one that I missed out on the slip for, of course, because I'm so late to the game with a lot of these. I'm just playing catch up here, guys. You know, I'm trying to fill in a lot of holes in the collection. April Fool's Day is the next one that I have here. And this is a movie that I did not like when I first saw it. I think it's pretty obvious why. If you don't know about this movie, it's sort of a slasher. You know, it's kind of a slasher. It's not a slasher. People say this is a slasher. I don't consider this to be a slasher. I consider it to be an original horror movie, but I don't know. I like it. I like it now, but I had to watch it a couple more times to gain appreciation for it. Many people think this is the best horror movie or best slasher ever, or you know, one of their favorites because it's so original and so creative, which it is. It's unique. It's very unique among all the slashers that came out in the 80s. But again, this is kind of a slasher, sort of a slasher. But I do enjoy it. I love Deborah Foreman's performance in this. I think she's gorgeous as well, so I love anything with her in it. Same thing with Waxwork. I think she was great in that movie. But yeah, man, April Fool's Day, happy to add that to the collection. Not happy that I missed out on the slip. What else is new? These next three came with slips though, and that's dope. Pet Sematary 2. I've never seen Pet Sematary 2. People kind of love or hate this movie. I'm excited to see Clancy Brown's performance in this. I hear that it's a really, really good performance. And I always love him in anything I see him in. He's a great actor. Dawn of the Dead. This is the remake from 2004. The 4K for this was announced recently. I really don't care to own the 4K. This is more than enough for me. And the fact that I got it with the slip, oh my God, I'm so good. I don't need to buy this movie again. This is it. This is all I need right here. Very, very good remake. I'm not into remakes too much. I love the Evil Dead remake, and I love this remake and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake with Jessica Biel. I think those are great films, but for the most part, remakes are not really my thing. This one did it right, though. I think Zack Snyder did a great job with this one. Very, very intense. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I'm happy to own this one finally. And the last one, Jesus, we got to the end, guys. I can't believe it. Event Horizon. This is a very, very good horror movie from the late 90s, 1997, mid to late 90s. I saw this late. I did not see it when it came out. When I finally did see it, I enjoyed it very much. I bought the DVD, and that was the only copy that I had of this movie until right now. So really happy that I finally got this on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. A lot of people, or some people, complained about this cover artwork. I actually like it very much. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm digging it. But this is a really good movie, man. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, excellent fucking horror. I think it's one of the better ones of the 90s. Like I said, I don't really like too many horror films from the 90s. It seems like, you know, there was not much coming out. Then Scream came out, and then everybody tried to be like Scream. Very fucking annoying. I'm not the biggest fan of that style of horror film from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm really not a big fan of those movies. I like Scream and I like The Faculty, but most of those sort of Scream-esque slashers, not my thing. But anyway, this was a very good one that came out, and I like what they did with this. It was an original sort of premise, in my opinion. Never seen anything like it before or since, and really happy to own this version with the slip. All right, guys, that is it. This was a long one. I had a lot to show. It's long overdue, but I'm glad I finally got it done, and I hope you enjoyed the whole video. Don't forget, if you like what you saw here, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and if you do hit subscribe, make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that I post. I got another couple of unboxings coming up. I got a Waxwork Records unboxing, got some cool vinyls from them that I can't wait to show you. And I'm gonna start doing reviews. Mark my words, I will. I definitely gotta get on that. I love doing unboxings, I love doing hauls, and I love watching videos like that, which is why that's basically the bulk of the content on this channel. I do enjoy those videos quite a bit, but I know people love reviews, and I really need to get down to doing some reviews. The Terrifier 2 review that I did got a lot of traffic. I'm hoping my future reviews will get, that kind of traffic. But regardless, I'm having fun with this, and I'm sorry I'm not putting out videos as often as I should. I slowed down a lot of things going on with the holidays, family stuff, life stuff, you know how it is. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Take care.